You know, behind the scenes in every corrections department, there's this incredibly important process humming along: scheduling inmate court appearances. It's really the operational heartbeat of the whole justice system. But what happens when that heartbeat gets a little irregular? Let's dive in and see how this super complex task is getting a complete overhaul.
Seriously, think about that for a second. What's the real cost of one little mistake? Is it just a missed appointment, or is it something bigger? Like a whole cascade of legal problems, financial headaches, and security risks that just ripple through the entire organization. Turns out the stakes are unbelievably high.
To really get a feel for this, let's put ourselves in the shoes of a corrections clerk for a day. Imagine it. It's this constant, relentless cycle of logging into one system, trying to find and double-check info in another, and then manually updating everything. It's a total manual maze, and one tiny slip-up can have some pretty serious consequences.
I mean, just look at all the steps involved here. For every single inmate, for every single change to a court date, a clerk is literally bouncing between different computer screens, copying and pasting data. You can just see how easy it would be for a mistake to slip right through the cracks, right? This isn't just inefficient, it's a massive administrative weight on their shoulders.
So what you end up with is a process that isn't just a little clunky, it's fundamentally broken. It's slow, it's fragile, and when things get busy, it just can't keep up. The system was basically designed for a world that doesn't really exist anymore.
So what happens when this fragile process finally does break? Well, a simple data entry mistake isn't just a typo. Nope. It's more like the first domino to fall in a very, very long line, kicking off a chain reaction with some pretty big consequences.
And we're not talking about small stuff. We're talking about missed court dates, which leads to huge compliance risks. Costs start to climb, staff get completely burned out from this mind-numbing work, and then communication between the different teams just falls apart. This is way more than an inconvenience. It's a serious operational weak spot.
But what if you could have a perfect, totally tireless digital assistant to handle this whole thing? Well, this is where the story takes a turn, with the introduction of a completely new kind of workforce. It's called robotic process automation, or RPA for short. And to put it simply, these are basically software bots that you can teach to do all those repetitive digital tasks. They click, they type, they copy and paste, but they do it 24/7, they never make typos, and they follow the rules perfectly every single time. Okay, so how does this tech actually solve the court scheduling nightmare? Let's take a look at how these bots, using a platform like ZAPTEST, get put to work. It all starts with something incredibly simple, using a tool called REC Studio. A clerk just does their job normally, one time, while the software records their clicks and their keystrokes. That's it. The bot watches, it learns, and it creates an automation script from that one recording. You do it once, and the bot can do it forever. And here's the really clever part. What makes this so reliable is this advanced computer vision, in this case called Zoe. The bots actually see the screen just like a person does. They can identify buttons, fields, and text, even if they move around. And this means it doesn't matter if the system is a modern website or some clunky 30-year-old database. The bot can read it, click it, and use it without a single problem. Okay, the technology is pretty cool, but what really matters are the results, right? So let's look at the actual, measurable impact this automation has on a department's operations. An 85% reduction in manual effort. Just let that number sink in for a moment. 85%. That is a massive shift. We're talking about freeing up countless hours and completely changing the day-to-day workload for the entire administrative team. I mean, the contrast here is just night and day. You go from a system that's slow, full of errors, and really rigid to one that's fast, incredibly accurate, and can scale up or down whenever you need it to. It's a complete transformation of the entire operation. And the wins go way beyond just speed. Now you've got guaranteed on-time appearances, instant communication across teams, and perfect audit trails for compliance. But maybe most importantly, your skilled staff are finally freed from that tedious data entry. They can now focus on the complex work that actually needs a human brain, turning their jobs into something much more strategic. And really, that's the bottom line here. This is all about taking a high-risk, high-cost administrative headache and turning it into a streamlined, reliable, and honestly, a strategic asset for the whole organization. So, that kind of leaves us with one final thought.
After seeing how this one super complex manual process was completely transformed, what critical repetitive task is your team still tackling by hand?